What's up everyone, it's Dave Gordon from Both Lighting USA, and today I got a quick tip for you. This is how to use DMX with your 360 tube. So real quick, let me go over what I've got on the table. Of course, I have a 360 tube on the table. I also have our DMX Transmit Pro on the table. You do need to use wireless DMX with the 360 tubes. There's no wired DMX option. So we recommend our Transmit Pro, of course, but if you already have a Donner system or a Chinley system from Amazon, those work as well. Those work on colors. They have a color on the transmitter, while our Transmit Pro has a number, and the tube actually also has a number, but I'm going to put up a chart right on the screen here that has the conversion between the color and the number, so that if you are using one of those other transmitters, you know what number to set your tube to based on what color your transmitter is. And then finally, I have a DMX software on my computer. That is SoundSwitch right now, and instead of using the SoundSwitch Control 1, I just have their interface cable right here, so it's just USB on one side and DMX on the other side from your computer into your Transmit Pro. So let's take a look closer at the 360 tube, and let's set the 3 different settings you need to get this thing working. So when you turn it on, of course, sometimes it goes on the custom color, sometimes it goes right to DMX mode, but let's start hitting menu until we get right over here. This is your address, your DMX address, and that is step 1. It's probably going to be on channel 001 when you get it, but I already have mine set to channel 193, which is determined by what is set on your software. So in our diamond file, in our pre-programmed project, tube 1, as I have labeled here, is channel 193. So that's already set, and that's step 1. And by the way, you just use these up and down buttons to change the channel, and you always press enter to confirm. Let's go to the next step, which is going to be your channel mode. If we hit menu right here, you're going to get to your channel mode. And once again, that is determined by what you tell the software. But in our diamond file, we use 80 channel mode. There's also 40, 12, 7, 6, 5, 160, and back to 80. So there's a lot of channel modes. You definitely need to make sure you have the right one, or whatever you're doing on your software is not going to match up with what you see on the tube. So when you set your channel mode, in this case 80, press enter. And finally, we need to flip through the menu a little bit until we get through to the wireless DMX ID. And this is what I was talking about. It shows numbers here, but what's interesting is you see that little green LED right there. If we flip through the channels and we set it to a specific one, like 4, it's actually going to change the color of the LED to match what a Donner system would do. So real quick, let's get a little bit closer up here so we can turn on the Transmit Pro and get that set to a channel, and of course then we're going to mimic what channel that is on our tube. So Transmit Pro, of course, I always like to mention that you need your P, your power, set to 3. That is the highest power level, the highest power rating. So always set that to 3. And I use ID2 in my company. In my company, I like to use ID2, which I know is the green channel. But of course, on the 360 tube, it does go by numbers. So let's hit menu. Once again, let's drop down to ID2. And once again, you always press enter to save your work. Once that's set, you saw it switch to green, and now it's flashing, which means that it has connection. When it's flashing, it means it's connected to a transmitter. So that's a good sign. Let's hit menu until we get back to the address, and this is basically your DMX mode. This is where you want to leave it so that it stays on DMX mode and receives signal. Now you'll see I have my tube right here. It's shining red right now, solid red, and that's because I have a static look on the computer here, static red. So if I go to static blue, for example, there you go, your tube turns blue. There you go, your tube turns green. That is our diamond pre-programmed file ready to go with everything. So let's recap real quick. 3 different settings you need. Number 1, your DMX address. Number 2, your DMX channel mode. And number 3, you flip through a little bit further until you get to your wireless DMX ID. Right there, we have ID 2. Let's press menu after all of that, and you get back to your address screen, and that puts you back in DMX mode. Thanks so much for watching.